Morning, it's 9:30. We'll call the meeting to order, please. We'll open the moment of silence followed by. Thank you. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Morning. Is there any public comment on agenda items only? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Approve the minutes of the June 18th, 2025 Commissioners Meeting.
So moved.
Second. Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Proclamations and certificates. We have Layden Timothy Hinton for an Eagle Scout and Parks and Recreation Month. Autumn Hawthorne from Stroud Regional Open Space Executive Director is here. Correct? David, would you like to present this to us, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Would you like to come up?
That way we get you right on TV.
Keep smiling.
Okay. Proclamation for Parks and Recreation Month. Whereas Parks and Recreation are essential to the quality of life in communities across the nation, including Monroe County, Pennsylvania. And whereas parks, trails, open spaces, and recreational programs promote physical and mental well-being, providing all residents with opportunities to be active, reduce stress, and improve overall health. And whereas time spent in nature has been proven to enhance cognitive functioning, reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and attention disorders, and support overall emotional resilience. And whereas local recreation departments play a vital role in community health by providing nutritious meals, wellness, education, and programming that supports all ages from early childhood through older adulthood. And whereas youth programs offered through Parks and Recreation, such as summer camps, environmental education, after-school enrichment, and team sports foster social development, leadership skills, and lifelong learning. And whereas strong park systems contribute to economic growth by increasing property values, attracting visitors, expanding the local tax base, and supporting job creation and public safety. And whereas parks and natural areas are essential to environmental sustainability, helping to preserve ecosystems, manage stormwater, improve air quality and water, and build community resilience in the face of climate change and natural disasters. And whereas the United States House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, recognizing the vital contributions of parks and recreation professionals and volunteers nationwide. And whereas Monroe County proudly acknowledges the enduring benefits of parks and recreation in building healthy, thriving, and connected communities, now therefore be resolved that the Monroe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, and encourages all residents to recognize the value of local parks and participate in recreational activities that strengthen our community. And it's signed by Commissioner Christie, myself, and Commissioner Labrador, and our Chief Clerk, Robert Caress. So, congratulations, Autumn. Thank you for running our local parks in the Stroud region. We appreciate it. And welcome. If I could add one thing. Autumn's been a great member of our America 250 Commission, and the Parks and Recs have come up with a 250 for 250 walk in the parks, or you could paddle, run, whatever you want to do in our local parks. And it starts Friday, July 4th, and will continue through the year, and you can log your miles. Can you give any more details about that?
Absolutely. If you visit stroudrec.org/250 for 250, that's where you can log your miles. We're trying to see how many people we can get to get 250 miles over the next year. So it's the 250 for 250. And I say it's walk, roll, paddle, however you explore Monroe County's outdoors, go ahead and log those miles for the program.
It's not that hard. I did 2.5 miles on Sunday, and I'm hoping Friday I'll get into 2.5, but 5 a week will get you there very easily. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a scheduled bar crawl?
like to host one?
I'll sign up.
Are you able to stay for a meeting? Or are you having to leave?
We have a Wednesday walk at 10 o'clock.
So,
Can we take a picture real quick?
Christine wanted to take a picture.
Sure, please.
All of you. Us.
Oh,
It's a great pleasure. Want to get in for a picture?
okay. Can we have a motion to make those proclamations and certificates, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. New business, personnel, A and B, their agenda, and to approve requests for work additional hours in the sheriff's office, maintenance and tax claim.
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Electronic transfers of financial transactions, A, B, and C, vouchers payable, gross payroll, and healthcare benefits. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Travel authorization, approve and ratify. Approve and ratify travel request report for Area Agency on Aging, Clerk of Courts, Conservation District, Elections, Voter Registration, Emergency Services, and Planning. Is there a motion, please?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Area Agency on Aging, ratify concession contract with the West End Fair Association, Inc. for 20 feet of space during the fair of 8/17/2025 through 8/23 of 25, in the amount of $430. Approve addendum to lease agreement with Barrett Township to use room 17 instead of room 30 at the Barrett Administrative and Recreation Complex. Approve a contract for professional services with Melissa Lear, RN, the period of 7/1/25 through 6/30 of 26, with a contract limit of $10,000. Reappoint Joan Harrison to the Advisory Council for a new term to expire 7/6 of 28. And acknowledge the resignation of Barbara Van Norwick with the Advisory Council, and acknowledge the service of the Advisory Board of Richard Weibel, the end of the term due to his passing. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Are there any questions?
I'd like to make a comment, if I
Please.
may. Richard Weibel actually worked for me when I was a state representative in my office, and he had a great heart for seniors. And he ran our senior series that we would do every May. And he was active with RSVP and always helped out with their program every year. And of course, he was on the Senior Advisory Council. So he's definitely going to be missed in our community because he really worked hard to help our senior community.
Thank you for sharing that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Children and Youth Services. A, execute the following purchase service agreements for the period of 7/1/25 through 6/30 of 26 with the County of Chester. The National Mentor Healthcare LLC, doing business as PA Mentor. Marquee, Pennsylvania, contract. Colonial IU 20 with a contract. And then B, approve the adoption assistance agreement for GR. And C, approve the submittal of the budget amendment request for fiscal year 23-24 in the amount of $798,092. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner's Office, ratify the budget adjustment report of 7/2/2025 totaling $2,264. That is additional HAP funds. We had an additional $2,264 of HAP funds. Family Promise got $566, PATH, Salvation Emergency Shelter, and Resources for Human Development all get $566 for the $2,264. Approve the budget adjustment report of 7/2/2025 totaling $63,450. Of that amount, $10,500 is for a reimbursement for a vehicle not turned in for a new lease for our friends in the detective's office. Maintenance of $34,900 to pay for invoices through the end of the year. Aging, $8,550 for year-end expenses and revisions to their budget for center meals. And photocopying for $5,800 for additional copiers. There's people that felt that they needed additional copiers of the courts, probation, and the district attorneys. Also in the maintenance, you'll see that there was $4,700 for a new flagpole in this building and $500 for the prothonotary for microfilm storage, as well as tax claim $3,200 for posting delinquent tax sales. Approve the payment of $1,500 to the Monroe County Dementia Coalition for dementia care form paid from hotel tax. Approve a grant funding agreement with the Pennsylvania Commissioners for the United States Semi-Sesquicentennial. Centennial? It's one of those years.
250.
Also known, I should just said, America 250 PA in the amount of $20,000 with a period to expire 12/31 of 27. Ratify approval of a quote from Superheat in the amount of $170,085 to perform the emergency replacement and repair of the HVAC unit at the OEM Control Center per Resolution 25-7 adopted on 6/4/2025 Commissioners meeting. Approve the change order PCO1 with Northeast Site Contractors totaling $5,357.50 for additional milling, overlay, and repair of the stone subbase as recommended by the engineer. Approve the contract amendment with Kudu Creative in the amount of $41,130 for additional paid social media advertising, email marketing, search engine marketing, and programmatic video to be paid out of opioid settlement funds. Execute the following agreement paid through P-Corps Safety Grant. Primrose Landscaping for the amount of $6,500 to remove debris and soil and install a new topsoil, level, seed, and straw on the 7th Street part of Sarah Street. On 7th Street and part of Sarah Street. GAC Construction in the amount of $4,325 for replacement of the steel door and repair of the concrete curb for a basement access door. And ratify and approve the chief clerk to advertise the following: request for or an RFP for a community needs assessment for Pike and Monroe counties, and a request proposal on behalf of the Area Agency on Aging for assorted professional services, and add the following vendors to the county list of approved vendors. In maintenance, we have Brook Air Company, LLC. In the district attorney's office, we have Jessica L. Pedersen, LLC. Is there a motion to approve, please?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Fiscal and grants. Adopt a resolution of the Monroe County Commissioners to authorize the filing for a proposal of funds with the Pennsylvania Department of Community Economic Development for fiscal year 2025 Emergency Solutions Grant ESG in the amount of $1,021,120 for street outreach, emergency shelter, homeless prevention, and rapid rehousing services. And approve the Medical Assistance Transport Program, MATP, participation grant agreement and assurance and compliance with the Department of Human Services for the period of 7/1/25 through 6/30 of 26. Approve John Christie to sign certification of documents for submission of the Emergency Solutions Grant for fiscal year 2025, including lobbying certification and workers' protection and investment certification forms. Execute an intergovernmental agreement between Monroe County, PA and the County of Pike for a cost share agreement of 80 Monroe and 20 Pike. The Joint Administrator, the Community Service Block Grant, CSBG, Community Needs Assessment for the years of 26 through 2026 and 2029 to identify, prioritize the needs of low-income households within the region, and ratify Amendment Act 2, Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP, subrecipient project request form in the Department of Human Services, changing the original project description from Normal Hill and Taylor Streets to Normal Hill only due to unexpected increase in project costs, and approve the Continuum of Care Grant, Rapid Rehousing 2023 subrecipient contract to Pocono Area Transitional Housing in the amount of $24,500 and modify the previously awarded amount to Family Promise of the Poconos, Inc. per M 2025-21 dated 1/15/25. Any questions? If there is a motion, please.
I'll move to approve that.
Thank you.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Municipal Waste Authority, appoint Gary Wallach to fill the unexpired term ending 12/31/28 for the Eastern Monroe County appointment, and acknowledge the service of John Ferraro of the Monroe County Waste Management Waste Authority Board, end of term due to his passing. John was a servant to the county in many, many different hats that he wore, and we appreciate all that his family shared with the county with him. Thank you. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Capital outlay purchase. Approve the capital purchase report dated of 7/2/2025 totaling $18,900. That $18,900 voter registration iPad charging cart. $5,776.18 will be charged to the election security grant, and the balance to the 25-26 elections integrity grant. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Computer capital purchases. Approve the computer capital purchases report dated 7/2/25 totaling $1,499.03. That is for a laser jet printer and print tray for voter registration that has a sheet count of 550 pages. That is pretty nice. That is to be charged to the elections integrity grant. Is there a motion, please?
Second?
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miscellaneous, Mr. Parker,
I do.
please, Sharon.
Thank you. On the 18th of June, in the afternoon after our county commissioners meeting, so we didn't really announce it that day, had not occurred yet. So now we're able to announce proudly that our Delaware River was selected the 2025 Pennsylvania River of the Year. Now that's a huge award. And we had a get together at Minisink Park that afternoon, which is in Smithfield Township, right down by Delaware River, that right by the Gap area. And what this is awarded by all those people that vote for it. It's kind of like an online voting where Christina Heaney, our Conservation District Director, was here at one of our meetings, and she kind of talked about that and was getting the information out to the community to go vote. So it was an online voting process, and we're very, very, very proud that we were able to get that selection. And I must tell you that the original artwork, this is a poster of the original artwork that was done by a young lady, little girl, 7 years old, believe. It was amazing. And her name is Sadie Lynn Duryea, and she is a Monroe County resident that submitted this artwork. It was gorgeous. It wasn't just painting, but it was a work of different kinds of collage and painting that she created. And with not understanding this, it's selected on historical, cultural, recreational significance, as well as Delaware River still service about, it says right in here from the state, millions of people for water. So understanding that, and at one point, and I've been here since 1973, quite a few long years ago. I know there were some issues with pollution. And through the work of the Monroe County people, through the work of the people that support the Delaware River, it's no pollution. It's beautiful. It's one of those kinds of things that we were able through conservation. And I think one of the major reasons is that Department of Conservation and Natural Resources wanted to make sure that the folks that voted, the folks that use Delaware River understand where it's been, where it's come, and now where it is, which is back at the top of the food chain. So thank you all, and I wanted to make sure you were aware of that and enjoy it. You might want to take a trip on the Ford.
I'd just like to make a brief announcement that we had our Moody's rating call, which we have frequently, yearly, and our ratings stayed the same at capital A, small a3. There was some concern with regard to us continuing owning the nursing home, and when we explained to them that we had recently sold the nursing home, that helped us keep our ratings at the level that we've been working to keep. Is there any public comment? Who's going first?
Any questions?
Public comment.
Yeah,
Please state your name.
I'm Susan Dietrichson, and I have a couple of questions. Pardon my naivete and maybe outright ignorance, because I'm kind of new to this, but is there some position that watches over the town to see what comes in, as new businesses?
Are you talking,
I mean, as far as variety and stuff like that. I believe there's a new Starbucks on 611. Is that correct?
there is a new Starbucks?
It's the
Yeah,
fourth one.
correct.
Yeah. And, I am a New York City transplant. I've been here for more than 20 years. I lived in both places. And I never wanted this to be New York City. I always wanted to get away. But now that I live here full time, I still don't want it to be New York. But I just feel like our town could be better. And I've been doing some Uber driving part-time. Everybody would love to have a Chipotle. And as a vegan person, it's one of the few fast food restaurants that's actually healthy. They use some organic ingredients, and you can actually get a good meal at a good price. Is there a way to contact businesses to bring them in? How does that work?
Well, first of all, each land use is either decided upon by the borough or the townships. The county has no say over land usage. There is a proposed Chipotle up on Route 611, across from the PennDOT shed up there.
Where is that?
You
Is
go
it-
up 611 past Staples.
Past stable?
You'll see it on the left-hand side.
Okay.
They have gone through numerous issues with regard to PennDOT for highway occupancy permits, but it's supposed to be a Wawa and a Chipotle there. That's what was presented. But we have no say over how many Starbucks they put in or.
So that's a township thing. So if
Correct.
that's on 611,
That's in Stroud Town.
that's Stroud Township. Okay.
Correct.
So if we had requests for things, do we go and talk to them, or is that, I mean,
They, unfortunately, you can request it, but unfortunately, the thing is it's who comes to Stroud Township and says, this is what I would like to propose. Trust me, my wife would love to have a Wegmans here, but
yeah,
I don't.
at Trader Joe's. I actually wrote to Trader Joe's.
Unfortunately, if you look at there's a whole science to the population, the income, so on and so forth of,
Is it right that Trader Joe's did an assessment and they decided that my friend had sent me an article that said that we were too low income for a Trader Joe's, which I found
It could very well could be,
Really?
yes. So,
Trader Joe, I didn't know they were high end. All right, thank you.
thank you. Anybody else? Not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, so moved.
We are, thank you. Thanks, Doc. Jake?